Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess, here to do your reading for the, Friday the 29th of September, I think that's right, 24th Monday. I'll double check that on the calendar before I put it up. I want to say a big thank you today to everybody that subscribed to my channel. Again, I will let you know I'm truly humbled by the response. I love doing readings, it's what I'm born to do. So the fact that I get to share them with everybody is just beautiful. If you haven't subscribed yet, wow, I'd love to have you on board. If my readings don't resonate with you, that's fine. Some days they just won't. You don't have to write and tell me why they don't resonate with you, because I understand they won't. So that's exactly what it's all about. Oh, that's interesting. So the Seven of Swords and the Justice card have just flown out at me. So somebody's got a bit of a problem today. So we'll have a look at this anyway. I'm sure it'll come up in the reading. Do I need to add anything else other than I'm truly grateful for your subscriptions? Beautiful. So it's Friday, guys. One day to the weekend. I am using the Hanson Roberts Tarot today. These ones aren't quite as slippery as the Morgan Greer ones, but I want to give them all a bit of a going so they get a little less slippery. Okay, we're ready. Ooh, and that's where she's split. Okay, bottom of the deck. Oh, Page of Swords. I've got him in reverse, but that's okay. The Page of Swords talks about a message coming, a message of truth. This might be delayed, being that I've pulled it in the inverted position. So don't be surprised if you've been reading a message coming through and it's still taking longer than perhaps you thought it was going to, because it's inverted. And that often says to me, you know, I get most of the, I don't really need to read reversals because I get most of the energy anyway. But being it's come up in reverse, that would say to me, if you're waiting on something, it may take a little longer than you thought it would. Okay, so the Page of Swords can be a message of truth. It's a very young energy, it's a new energy. It might not be a very big message, it might only be something sort of just to see where you're at with something. The other thing too is this person generally represents someone stalking you on, you know, social media or trying to find out things about you. It can represent an Aquarius, Libra or Gemini. But whatever this is your energy for the day. So either someone's trying to stalk you or you're out stalking someone else. Okay, put them up the right way now. Okay, so your first card out is the Three of Pentacles. So this sees a guy working on something. Now, generally this talks about working on, it can be something tangible, they're pentacles. It could be working on your money. It could be also working on your craft. It could be developing your own personal business. It can be working on a relationship as well. But whatever it is, this little guy's got his hands, you know, really going here. He's really trying to improve whatever this is. And I always think that no matter where I see this card, it also reminds me a little bit of a church, because it always, like, the archaeology or the building around it always looks quite spiritual. So some of you may be working on a spiritual business, trying to get something up and running in the spiritual realm, or it could be something that you're working on yourself on. But this is diligently working. Now, if it's a work-related reading, this can talk about working on projects with other people. So whatever way it goes, that's generally the feel of the card. Okay, and the next card we have out is the Magician. So you're working on something and you have all the tools to do this. Not sure how it relates back to the Page of Swords yet, but we'll get there. So the Magician is a card that talks about us being completely ready to bring something into our lives. We've done the work involved, we've got all the tools we need, and we're manifesting. Now, I think for a lot of people, you don't realise sometimes, you know, about how you manifest. You know, talk about wanting something and the next minute it falls in your lap. So sometimes we're able to do it very, very easily, and other times it takes a little bit more of a conscious decision to bring something into our lives. But this here tells me that you're doing it very easily at the moment. So you're working towards something, you have everything you need, and you're able to manifest something. Okay, and the next card out we have is the Seven of Rods. Now, the Seven of Rods is a card that talks about sort of being defensive, you know, having your guard up, you know, fighting people off, fighting for what you truly want, fighting what's yours. I mean, when I look at these three cards together, they say to me that you're very, very much in a place today where you want something really badly and you're really going to go after it. So I'm not quite sure what that means for you here. There's no clear indication that it's work or love yet, but definitely wanting to move something forward here. You're very passionate, you're guarded, but you're also, you know, ready to fight for whatever you need. You really are in a place today where you want to manifest something. Okay, and the next card out is the Five of Cups. Now, it's possible that you are wanting something really badly from your past, because this card shows a person looking forward at looking backward at what they've lost. So they've already lost this because it's come out of the cup, so it no longer is any good to them. But instead of looking for this, you know, beautiful future here, they're so intent on looking back at what they lost, they're not looking towards the future. And this card asks you to turn around and see what's in front of you, because concentrating on the future is not a good thing. So having a bit of a glimpse into the future is fine, but living there is not great. It's gone, it's past, it's done. You can't change this. So what you need to do is turn around and have a look at what's in front of you. Now for me, reading the rest of the cards here, it's almost like you're trying to manifest something back that you've dealt with in the past, that maybe you feel you have unfinished business with. Sometimes this can just mean, I mean, if this was a work-related thing, maybe you feel, you know, you have regrets over things you did in the past and you're concentrating on the regrets rather than opportunities. Whatever this is, and I note that there's a lot of water in this picture, which always talks about emotions. So it could be that you're a little bit stuck in your emotions at the moment too. But it's time to look forward now. And you have the tools to manifest what you want, whether this is something new, you're really passionate and going after it. And I feel like for some of you, this is definitely about work or business. Okay. So then we have the Seven of Swords. Now the Seven of Swords can be seen as a bit of a tricky card, a bit of a sneaky card. It could be something to do with perhaps checking up on someone because you have that Page of Swords in the beginning. It could be that you're doing your homework, trying to see where someone is and what they're up to. They may not necessarily be someone from your past. It could be someone that you're just interested in. Now in the Seven of Swords, we see him walking away with all his swords and he leaves two behind. I see this sometimes as a card where we've learned all our lessons, we understand what is, you know, required of us, and we're taking that forward with us, and we're leaving things that don't serve us behind, like our baggage and things that no longer mean anything to us. So it could be that you have decided to move forward from this Five of Cups and you're now taking the lessons and things with you. So it could be that something happened in the past and it's taken a little while to get back to this position of being back in your power and wanting to manifest something new. And now you're deciding to move forward. Okay, and the next card out is the Justice card. Now I said to you before, see these cards come out if they're meant to. So the Justice card talks about some sort of, it's very much a karma feel here. It could be a legal thing. There's no other cards that support that here. The Justice card represents, you know, like a give and take. It's like putting out what you want to get back. And it feels very karmic here. This feels like a bit of a karmic situation. So it's possible that you do have unfinished business with this person, but what you've done is chosen to move forward rather than sit on it. So you know you still have a karmic connection. I think you've realised that here, that there's something more to this past. Whether that be a past relationship that you know someone is destined to come back, or whether this is something new you're manifesting because of things you've left in the past. Either way, there's some sort of karmic energy coming forth here. We'll see as we go. Okay, and then I have the Tower. Yeah, definitely some sort of karma going on here. So the Tower is generally something that's instigated by the universe. Sometimes you can do this yourself without even realizing, though. So sometimes with the Tower, it can mean that you have forced a breakup or you forced a separation. You know, when you say to someone, I've had enough, move on, and hope that they realise that they feel something for you, that sort of energy. Where you said, I've had enough of the way you're treating me, go, you know, come back when you've made up your mind it's me you want. Or something to that effect. There's no cards of really fighting here other than defence. So it seems to me you may have just given someone an ultimatum. Very possible. But there's definitely something karmic. It's almost like you know you have unfinished business with this person. And you're pushing them away and you're moving forward. So even though you may have feelings for this person or really be interested in this person, you're still moving forward without them. In relation to a job, I think that perhaps you've decided what you're doing is not what you want to do. It's definitely not what you want to do. And I see that in this looking back at the past card. You know what you want to do and now you're moving forward to try and find what it is you do. There's definitely some sort of karmic situation here though, even if it's work related. It's like you know you deserve something more or you know you deserve something better. Some people may have walked away from a job and tried something new and now realise the job they had was actually the one that felt right for them. But with the Tower, what it talks about is the structures being broken down. So whatever you thought is probably not how it is. So it could be a change in your belief system. It could be a change in your in the way you think about things. It can also sometimes mean a greater change, like with a job, you know, chucking something in to go back to something else. Because there's definitely the feeling here of returning to something. So whatever it is for you, I'm sure you'll find out. It's sort of fairly close energy. And then we have the Ten of Swords. So you could have been betrayed by someone or somebody, you know, a romance or a workplace. But you're certainly feeling very betrayed at the moment. What I like, though, is this is the end of a cycle. So, and it feels that way to me with this karmic energy and this Tower in place. It feels like you've just come to the end of a cycle. So maybe you've had a big realisation that you need to move on with your life and leave the past behind, and that is for the end of the cycle. You've chosen to move. And in that way, the karma makes sense then, because a lot of us are working through karmic energy from the past. The Seven of Cups comes out here, so there is some confusion around this. So, golly, my reading's going on a long time today. Probably because I'm stopping looking at it a lot to make sure I give you all the messages. This card talks about confusion, and it talks about moving forward without confusion. But it feels to me that a lot of you are confused. You're very determined to move forward. You've got all the tools you need. You've learned that looking back at the past doesn't serve you. You're taking your lessons forward and you're moving into something new. But in order to do this, you've got to break down some of the things from the past that have held you back. Maybe it's not a belief in yourself, you know, not having a good understanding of who you are. Because it's almost like you've finished off this cycle now. And it talks about betrayal, but in this it just feels to me like you've actually turned this around to move forward. So with the Seven of Cups, we're talking about an energy of confusion. Ah, that's beautiful. Okay, guys, looks like you're going to do a bit of healing here. And this may be about, I know when I say healing, everybody sort of goes, what healing? Like it's a physical healing. This is just about, you know, understanding what you've been through, understanding where you're going, and giving yourself the opportunity to take that deep breath before you move forward. Because this card tells me that whatever you want is in your future. But it's a matter of being able to let go of the past and move forward. Now, I know people say too, I'm not hanging on to my past, but actually you must be, because the energy here is saying this is karmic. So now is the time to let it go, because better things are out there for you. And although this reading doesn't show that, I can feel the energy